Hello, and welcome to the presentation of my study, Change Detection for Shadows and Colors in Artists and Non-Artists. My name is Estreya Cohen, and I completed this study for my undergraduate honors thesis under the supervision of Dr. José Rivet and Dr. Patrick Cavanaugh at Glendon College, York University. To begin, the existing research on shadows suggests that shadows in our environment are rarely noticed or remembered. Shadow changes are less noticeable than other changes, such as color, in natural and artificial scenes. Impossible or inaccurate shadows are rarely noticed as long as the object of focus is still recognizable. Therefore, ignoring shadows may be a normal part of object processing. The existing research on artists has found that a higher level of artistic skill and training leads to better performance on visual tasks, such as the integration of object information. Differences in activation of brain regions suggest that artists process some visual information more efficiently than non-artists. Artists are often tasked in reproducing scenes, meaning they may pay particular attention to elements like shadows more than most people. Overall, this research suggests that we tend to ignore shadows and we are not bothered by incorrect shadows. Artists seem to have more efficient object processing and superior performance on visual tasks than non-artists. Therefore, this advantage over non-artists for visual processing might make artists more sensitive to shadow changes. This brings us to the goal of the present study, which is to examine performance differences in artists and non-artists on change detection for both shadows and colors. For the methods of this study, participants were recruited from psychology and visual arts courses at Glendon. In order to assign each participant to either an artist or non-artist group, they were asked if they create visual artwork, such as paint, draw, or engage in graphic design. Participants who responded yes were categorized as artists. We had 22 artists, and participants who responded no were categorized as non-artists. We had 19 non-artists for a total of 41 participants. The change detection task itself asked participants to compare two side-by-side images and click on the difference on the image on the right as quickly and as accurately as possible. 20 pairs of images were presented, 10 with color changes and 10 with shadow changes. These image pairs were presented in a randomized order for each participant, and our measure of interest was the reaction time for detecting the correct change. Here's an example of a color change detection task. Participants had to use their mouse to detect the difference between the two images. Again, what we were most interested in was how quickly participants detected the correct difference. Here's an example of a shadow change. Participants found the difference and we recorded how long it took them to do this. And here are our results. Artist reaction time to detect color changes was not different than non-artist reaction time. And similarly, artist reaction time to detect shadow changes was not different compared to the non-artist group. Overall, artists and non-artists were faster at detecting color changes than they were for shadow changes. Overall, these findings indicate that shadow change detection is slower than color change detection, as previous research had suggested. However, artists and non-artists do not differ in their ability to detect color or shadow changes. Artist perception is therefore much like that of non-artists, despite many hours of practice in drawing scenes. The artist's advantage is in their ability to extract structure from the images. Here are the cited articles for your reference. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank all of my participants and all those who helped me complete this study.